Paul was saying, I can't estimate my strengths because I don't know my strengths and weaknesses like I think I do. He says, brethren, study this out. Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do. So when he's talking about apprehended, it's a little bit different than lambano, which is to gain perfection. He's talking about, again, count not myself to apprehended. He's like, I cannot estimate or grasp or comprehend, kata lambano. He's like, I cannot comprehend or understand what areas that I need to even work on. So Paul's saying, listen, I don't even know where to begin. I am recognizing that I haven't arrived, that I'm not perfect, and that I don't even know where I'm weak, because guess what pride does? Pride blinds us to where we're weak. Everyone has something in common, and that is we all think that our strengths are stronger than they are, and our weaknesses are not as bad as they are. And what we do is we look around and we say, well, I'm glad I'm not as bad as she is. Pastor, I've gone to Vegas a couple times, but she's there every weekend. She's a sinner. We start feeling better about ourselves based on what someone else is doing. And it's like, hold on, we got to step back and say, wait a second. Maybe, just maybe, we all stumble, and we all stumble in different ways, and we cannot compare ourselves among ourselves because 2 Corinthians says we're unwise. Now, when I was 18, I had just finished playing basketball, and we had a great year where I was playing basketball in Iowa, and I came out to Bible college, and that's what brought me to the Antelope Valley, and I went to West Coast, and it was a Bible college I heard about online and on the radio, and it's like a boot camp for preachers, and I'm like, that's where I'm going, right? And West Coast told me when I was looking at going there, they said, we are in the NCAA. It's kind of like a knockoff of the NCAA, but it's like for Christians. I thought, that's great. That's awesome. Like Christian colleges playing basketball, and I was like, signing up for it. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be on. And so I got to the tryouts, and there's like 28, 30 guys there, and they were going to be 16 guys on the team, and I thought, I'm looking around, I'm like, oh, this is a lock. I was like, this is a lock. Some of the guys were shorter than me, and I was feeling good because I just finished, I was a senior in high school, of course. I was better than all those little freshmen, and I was looking, and I actually felt bad for the guys that were going to miss the team. And I told my roommates, I said, man, I feel bad for those guys. There's some short guys, and there's some guys that can't even dunk. You know what I mean? Like it's too bad for them, And then they published the 16 names, and I wasn't on there. And I had to realize, wait a second, maybe, just maybe, I'm not as good as I thought I was. Maybe, just maybe, one of those shorter guys is a better shooter. Maybe, just maybe, that the coach saw that those other 16 guys, maybe they had a little bit more knowledge of the game. Maybe he could see they had a little bit of experience. Maybe he could tell that they had a little bit more stamina. I don't know what he saw. But I had one or two options: to get mad at the coach and say, he just doesn't know me. Or I could say, maybe I have an overinflated view of myself. And so what pride does is it keeps us from growth because we don't even know the areas of growth that we need. And so here's what he said to the church at Corinth. He says, for which cause we faint not. He's like, don't get discouraged, 2 Corinthians 4:16. Though the outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. He's like, listen, you're going to make mistakes. There's going to be problems, but don't get lifted up with pride or discouragement. He's like, listen, allow your new man to be renewed from the inside out. Allow yourself to be confronted and by what needs to change. I love what John Stott said. He said, every stage of the Christian development and every sphere of Christian discipleship, pride is the greatest enemy and humility our greatest friend. Andrew Murray put it bluntly. He said, pride must die in you or nothing of heaven can live in you.